Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show. We're so glad that you could join us here on Lemon Live at 5. We have a jam-packed show for everyone today. We've got so much to talk about. We're talking about the latest developments in the now public indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. Remember, it was sealed. Now it's public. Trust me when I say the details are extremely disturbing. We're going to cover that. Also, we're going to cover that extensively, really. And we're going to cover Vice President Harris's conversation with NABJ reporters in Philadelphia this afternoon. Hopefully it went better than Donald Trump's conversation with the NABJ. She addressed the attempted assassination of Donald Trump there. And of course, we're going to cover the ongoing crisis situation in Springfield, Ohio, where a racist conspiracy spread by the former president and J.D. Vance and their allies have effectively locked down the town of 60,000 people. Who better to help me talk about it is all these horrific stories and really add some levity to it, and that is comedian and impressionist Godfrey. He's going to join us. He's an extraordinary impressionist. He's going to join us in a little bit. Godfrey is late. He is on CP time. We'll ask him about that when he gets here. So we're going to bring him in. We'll bring him in live. We're just going to be very transparent when he comes. He went to the wrong address, but the right avenue. We'll discuss all of that. So here's the very latest that we're going to talk about when it comes to Sean Diddy Combs, okay? As you know, the indictment was sealed. Now it's unsealed. You saw the press conference. We ran it live earlier on the Don Lemon Show. We did our morning show, which is Hot Topics. We spoke all about it. Okay, so here's what happened this morning. So to give you some context, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested last night. You know, he was at the Park Hyatt Hotel here in Manhattan. He was taken into custody by Homeland Security. He was supposed to be arrested in a couple of days, or they were going to try to figure it out. As it turns out, they decided to do it earlier and then took him into custody last night. He was charged with 3 counts of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, this indictment says since 2008, this goes back to 2008, that is a long friggin' time, to the present, members of the Combs enterprise allegedly engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice. Remember he was living in Miami? He had left when they raided his house in California. I don't think he was there. His sons were there. And then he ended up moving to Miami. But he has been in New York since last week, his attorney said. Negotiations of his surrender had been ongoing, and a grand jury voted to indict him. His attorney's name is Mark Agnifilo. He said in a statement, and I quote, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office." Combs' attorney said that the musician has been cooperating with the investigation that led to the indictment and voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. His team maintains his innocence and says he has nothing to hide. And so earlier this year, though, you need to know that Combs became the target of this months-long sex trafficking probe by the Homeland Security Investigations Agency, which led to the dramatic searches of his Los Angeles home and Miami home in March. We showed you the pictures earlier of what that looked like, them raiding a home and them law enforcement with someone in a weird sort of body headlock sort of thing on the driveway of the home. And then we showed you what the home looked like after they had raided it. They pulled out wires, they pulled out computer equipment, they pulled out hard drives, it was cell phones, they went through all the closets, they went through all the drawers. They were looking for any type of evidence. So they raided both of these homes. A law enforcement source told the New York Times that that what did they say? That the federal probe stems from many of the sexual assault allegations made in several civil lawsuits against the producers. Okay, the scope of this investigation is big. There's a lot to discuss here. Here's the bottom line of what you need to know that just came out moments ago, because Sean. He actually appeared in court, and let's see what happened here. So he appeared in court. He is headed to jail today to wait his trial. He's going to be on trial, obviously, in this federal sex trafficking case. This was after a magistrate ordered him to be held without bail in the case that accuses him of presiding over a sordid empire of sexual crimes. He pleaded not guilty today to the racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. He's accused of inducing female victims and male sex workers into drugged up, sometimes days-long sexual performances dubbed freak-offs. The indictment against him also refers obliquely to an attack on his former girlfriend, the R&B singer, the former girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie Ventura, that was captured on videotape. Prosecutors wanted him jailed. His attorneys proposed that he be released on a $50 million bond to home detention with electronic monitoring. U.S. Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnowski sided with the government, denied. Sean Diddy Combs denied and is in jail now, awaiting trial. Can you believe it? What a turn of events to happen in just a short time. We had been waiting for a while, right, to see what was going to happen. We had been waiting for a while, and now we have this turn of events where Sean Diddy Combs is now sitting in jail on federal charges. So investigators were preparing to bring the accusers of Combs before a federal grand jury for testimony, which was a significant escalation in the government's investigation. So we'll see if they come. I don't know if they're going to be part of a new grand jury testimony, if they're going to come out, or if they're just going to wait till the trial. Someone in the comments said it's hard to process. I agree. It is hard to process because even though we had heard the rumors for a long time, it is still hard to process that all of this is going on. I wonder if Diddy was prepared to go to jail until trial, says Andrea. I don't think anybody is prepared to go to jail for that long a period of time. He did not deserve bail. It was the right decision, says Maureen. Now remember, one is innocent until proven guilty. Now to break down all of these charges and what happened in court, I want to play this. This is from my friends over at MSNBC, and it is a good breakdown that I want you to hear because I want you to be informed as we are discussing what happened. Here it is.
This was just unsealed, sealed, a 14-page indictment, a lot in here. What more do we know about the charges and the allegations here?
So, Anna, we know a number of things about the allegations, but I want to highlight a few things for you. One, today's indictment is solely against Sean Combs. But of course, the chief count is a racketeering conspiracy that alleges that Sean Combs used his businesses and a number of people that worked in and around him to essentially facilitate a commercial sex enterprise through which women were trafficked both internationally and interstate to serve his own sexual desires, including by pairing them, once they were plied with drugs he provided, with commercial male sex workers, then watching them and filming them have sexual intercourse with these people, and then to recover, then giving them forced IV fluids in a pattern that lasted between 2009 up through and including 2024. So there's an allegation here about who was involved in this enterprise beyond Sean Combs, and that includes security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees who are engaged in that pattern that I just referred to with you, which the indictment refers to as a freak-off. The other thing I want to tell our viewers is that there is a victim here who's identified as victim one. There's also a separate victim who's not identified by a victim name and number, who is the victim of that transportation to engage in prostitution count. So there's at least two women here that the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York knows about and apparently has interviewed. And the third thing that I would just underscore for you is, in addition to the criminal penalties that Sean Combs could be facing, there are forfeiture allegations, which basically suggest that Sean Combs should give up any and all property, real and personal, that was derived from the proceeds he obtained from this long-standing alleged racketeering conspiracy. So look for the feds to seize property from Sean Combs, and at the end of this case, when and if it reaches its end, to insist that they can seize real property, bank accounts, and otherwise that are obtained for him through this enterprise.
Wow. They're going to seize his property. Diddy had a net wealth a net worth of about $1 billion, right? Before all of this. And remember when all this drip, 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 all of this started to come out? He got, a lot of endorsements, a lot of sponsorships, even things that he owned. People started dropping him, right? They started giving back, taking away their degrees, right? Their honorary degrees, their keys to the city, all of those accolades, all of those things that Sean had gotten over his time as a music mogul. They had gotten back. As a matter of fact, during the press conference this morning, the U.S. attorney said that, he had a man who had once been given his keys to the city. A key to the city is now being indicted by the city, indicted by New York, and is now going to have to, face justice here. And so the poll that we have up that says, "Are you surprised that Diddy was denied bail?" One is I'm shocked. Another one is I'm a little surprised. Nope, that makes sense to me. So participate in this, and we're going to wait for Godfrey to get here, and we're going to talk about it. Someone makes a very good point. Kerry King says, he shifted a lot of that money to a clandestine bank account. I don't know that for sure, but I would imagine that's probably something that he thought about. So, it's interesting. And then also, here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that comes out of this investigation, because we know during the time that he realized that he was being investigated, prosecutors are alleging that he tampered with witnesses, so to speak, and to people who were involved, and to witnesses in this investigation, trying to give them certain narratives about what to say and to lie to prosecutors and investigators. And so once the feds, this is the Southern District of New York, but once the feds get a hold of you, you shouldn't be trying to talk to anybody. You should just shut up. I don't know why Diddy did that, but I guess he was trying to get out of it. So, by the way, Diana Nelson said, Trump was running with him also. Yes, they knew each other. I'm not sure if Trump has anything to do with this, but Trump knows a lot of famous people and knew a lot of famous people. Didn't he just sell his LA home, says Ludi Ponce. I have no idea. You guys let me know in the comments if he just sold his home there. So I'm not sure about that. So this morning, his attorney, if we can grab the soundbite of the attorney this morning speaking, I would really appreciate that. This morning, I think it was the only time that we heard from the attorney, and we played it on our Hot Topic show, of Donald Trump's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, speaking outside of the courthouse. He got stopped by the reporters there. Afterwards, I do not believe that he has spoken. And I think that it would be, a mistake for him to give a full-blown press conference right now. I don't know if it would help the attorney's case to do that. It may be more helpful that the attorney does it instead of Sean Diddy Combs obviously doing a press conference and obviously talking. But just hours and really moments before he was arrested, Sean Diddy Combs was seen out with his sons, out on the streets. There were photographs of him, videotapes. There's a video of him speaking to some of his fans, shaking hands. He's out and about, in front of the hotel. This weekend he was in Central Park. I believe it was at a concert or something, because he had moved here to try to really cooperate with investigators and negotiate with the attorneys to try to get this out of the way. The lawyer Mark Agnifilo in front of the courthouse this morning. This is the last time I believe we heard from him. Watch.
No, it's not planned. Certainly, it's not planned by us. He came here to surrender at a time agreeable to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then they arrested him last night. I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life, and he's not guilty. He's innocent of these charges. We know what the charges are going to be. Without seeing the indictment, it's going to be racketeering, it's going to be sex trafficking, it's going to be things along those lines. This is what we've been expecting since the searches in March. He, to his great credit, he voluntarily came to New York. Not a lot of defendants do that. He came to New York to to basically engage the court system and start the case, and it'll start today. And he's going to plead not guilty, obviously. He's going to fight this with all of his energy and all of his might and the full confidence of his lawyers. And I expect a long battle with a good result for Mr. Combs.
Do you think he'll be released?
I'm going to fight like hell to get him released, and he should be released with all that he's done and coming here voluntarily. And guys, I'm going to cut it short because I have to go in. All right.
Okay, so that's the attorney, and that's when he went into the courtroom, went into the courthouse to deal with his client, and then just not long after that, really, I guess about an hour or so, Sean Diddy Combs, the prosecutor, I should say, held a press conference and talked about all of those things, even had exhibits of guns where the serial numbers were apparently removed, or you could not see them, or they tried to hide them, which is a federal offense in itself. So the prosecutor also saying this morning that they were actually very happy to get these sex trafficking charges in, because those were the most significant and the most serious for Sean Diddy Combs. And those were the ones, quite frankly, that will keep Sean Diddy Combs in prison for decades. In prison for decades. That is what he is facing. Decades. He has previously denied all of this wrongdoing, but we know, innocent until proven guilty. He issued a public apology after CNN exclusive release that surveillance footage that showed earlier in the year that showed him brutally beating his former girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura. We have a copy of that videotape. And it was in a Los Angeles hotel in 2016. We ran it this morning. We'll try to run it again for you if you've seen it. But it was alluded to, that videotape was alluded to this morning in the press conference. And he talked about kicking, victims and pulling victims' hair and those sorts of things. So if we have the videotape, we can show it. And also, I would love to show what the inside of his home looked like, and also some of the raids on his home, if we can get that. So, wow, it is amazing that we have come here. Godfrey is here, is going to join us in just moments to discuss this. And I don't want to play a lot of what's going on because I want him to be able to react to it naturally. And I also want to play for him what has happened in Philadelphia with the Vice President and presidential candidate Kamala Harris meeting with the National Association of Black Journalists. And then speak to him about some of the things that we have been talking about. J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, talking about Haitian immigrants, and so on and so forth. Okay? So a lot to discuss here. Let's see what's on your mind in the comments until we get Godfrey in here, because again, I said Godfrey is on CP time. Late, Godfrey. Why are you so damn late? Why are you on CP time, brother?
Because there's two 460s.
He's going to come here. Don't come in here talking shit
Big
like
Don,
that.
boy, what's up?
What's up? How you doing? He's not even mic'd.
Oh, I don't need a mic. I don't need one.
Godfrey, you're bigger than I thought. Dude, you're jacked.
I'm not too bad, right?
You're not too bad. You got that Mr. T haircut? No, I'm just
I
fucking
got to
with
visit T. But I got a surprise for you. Speaking of
you.
haircuts.
Can you go up under and pull it out of the
Oh,
top?
yeah. Speaking of haircut, Don, we have the same barber.
Speedy?
Yusef.
Yusef. Yusef over at Diamond Barber.
Diamond Cuts.
Diamond
we have
Cuts.
the same barber.
Did he tell you?
Yeah, he goes, yeah, I cut his hair.
He's Moroccan.
Yusef has been living here for 50 years.
And he still has that.
Yes, I cut here. Done. Yeah, that guy come all time.
I've been cheating on Yusef though.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Oh, Yusef's my guy for like 20 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good, right?
He's amazing.
He's the one that introduced me to Moroccan oil. We're going to talk about oil, not in the baby oil way, the Diddy. But
no Diddy. Is he in trouble?
Moroccan oil for my hair, because it actually makes your hair grow. It's good for your skin.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Ask him about it when you see it.
Him.
Okay, listen. So I've been just sitting here ad-libbing, trying to talk, because Godfrey's behind. Why are you late? Tell the people.
Because it's 460.
No, don't tell him the address.
All right, nothing. Sorry.
There are two addresses that are very similar.
There's two addresses of your...
Come here, lean over. Let me fix that for you.
There's two addresses here. And they took me to the other address,
Now push that in. Push that in. I
okay.
don't want to push it in your ear. You
Okay.
push it in.
Yeah, they took me to the other address.
It's still
which was-
popping out.
It was. I know.
All right, that's good. All right, listen, you don't need to hear anything.
They took me to the other address. There's 2 addresses exactly the same.
Yeah.
And they took me to that one. And
Let's
I
just
was
say
like, I don't-
one is east and one is west. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
One is east,
And
one
then
is
I
west,
looked,
one
I
is
said,
up,
I
and
don't
one is
think we're in
down.
the right place. And then I said, oh, it says south.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it was confusing.
Okay, so listen.
Sorry.
Have you been paying attention to this Diddy story?
Yes.
And what do you think? What's your initial reaction when you heard? Had you heard about these freak off stuff? Leave that alone. Just
All
take
right.
it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's pop it out. Let's pop it out, and
right,
then
all
you
right.
can put it in when
Okay,
you're
here
ready.
we go.
So,
Yes.
what did you think when you saw this?
I was like, you know what? You know what Malcolm X said, the chicken's coming home to roost? That's how I feel. I feel like it's his comeuppance. And over the years, being in New York for like 22 years now, I used to hear stuff about him all the time.
did.
But you never said anything because Diddy was Diddy. He was the man. He was running hip hop. It was New York. And I went to like public parties of his. And
You're making that public thing,
public
really.
parties. I went to public parties and I had a good time. And P. Diddy was P. Diddy, you know, with the locks. It was, he could be untouched. And then, you know, you see guys like Tupac is gone, Biggie is gone. All these people are gone, and all these other, you know, Craig Mack. You could keep naming them. Loon, all these great artists that don't have a career anymore. And then Shine, the thing that happened to Shine. Shine is now a politician now. But all the people that are around Diddy, they're all like kind of, all these careers have kind of failed, and then people are not alive anymore, and then Diddy's just standing alive and wealthy. And I used to be like, what is going on?
Carl Perkins just said, ask Godfrey, has he ever tried the baby oil?
No, man. No, pause. Pause. Pause, yo.
Look, this stuff is very serious. I mean, look,
Yeah,
it's serious
yeah.
because we know.
Yeah.
You saw the videotape. You saw what happened to Cassie in that hotel room. Everybody was shocked by that, right?
yeah,
So there's some serious victims here. And the news is so bad, we need some levity. I do believe that.
Yes.
I was reading the indictment live on the air this morning, and I got to the baby oil stuff. I must have laughed for, seriously, y'all, what was it, like 3 minutes? I couldn't, because it caught me off guard.
It was like all the
when it said,
baby
and then they confiscated boxes of about 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
They're eating dogs. They're eating cats and dogs. P. Diddy is greasing dogs and barbecuing parakeets. It's happening. It's pretty disgusting.
They're eating the cat.
They're eating the cats and the dogs, and there's a lot of baby oil and a lot of dildos. It's pretty pathetic. It's very embarrassing, and I love P. Diddy, a great friend of mine, but it's pretty sick.
They are friends. I mean, they know each
I
other.
know, but remember, Trump was around when it was live. Trump was a socialite. Trump was partying. I mean, I think Trump is the most mentioned person in hip hop. They always would say, I'm getting money like Trump. I'm at the Trump Tower. So Trump is part of hip hop. Trump was in the mix. You can see he's taking pictures with everybody. He's giving money to some artists to start their labels. Trump was part of, that's why I was a little disappointed in Trump, just the way he's been. I said, considering you've been around different communities coming up and, you know, but anyway, either way, yeah.
You know, I have been trying to tell people that, look, I've been in New York since the 90s, right?
Right.
And covering Trump and seeing him around. And
Yeah.
he's it's like a different person.
That's what I'm saying.
And you said he's most talked about in hip hop.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I got a question about that. But also, I'll be watching Law and Order from like back in the day. And they'll be like, who are you, Mr. Richie Rich, Donald Trump? Like he's mentioned in everything.
Trump is always mentioned. He's a punchline. And then for him to be like this other dude, but I think that's, you know, when you run for president or politics, you gotta appeal to the people, to the, you know, to that yeehaw, you know, sometimes.
Do you think,
What's up,
sir?
Yes.
Do you think that's part of the reason why some black men, more than in any other time, in any other election period, are supporting Donald Trump? You think that's why? Because they think that he's a baller, that he's. What do you think it is?
I think that there's a lot of black men that say, well, I think Donald, they try to make him out to be this evil dude. And and a lot of them are tired of being tricked by Democrats. You know, it says they always trick us. It's like every time, it's like liberals. You know how you have liberals that are liberal, but they're still on some sneaky stuff. You know what I mean? They're always sneak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think Malcolm X said, "Yeah, the liberals will pat you on the butt.
Yeah.
You know, they're different. They'll pat you on the butt, come in and say, you a good brother, you a good brother. And then they'll turn around. They're like a sheep in a
wolf in sheep's clothing.
Wolf in sheep's clothing. So they're just tired of the whole, hey, Kamala's black and she's Indian. Vote for me. And when Joe Biden said, hey, if you're not black if you don't vote for me, it's like it's almost like they're tired of the
But
tricks.
Godfrey,
I think. This is what I'm thinking.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Because
Let me tell you something about that. Because I spoke to Joe Biden's people.
Okay.
Right? About that.
Yes.
And people who know him, black folks who know him. They will tell you Joe Biden was blacker than you know who. That he is.
Really?
Yes. So they said when Joe Biden said that when he's like, if you vote for me, you ain't black, that's the kind of people he hangs out with. Like brothers who are like, come on, you ain't black, give me your black card. So maybe he's just a little too familiar with black culture. And
I figured he was doing that, but
it's still, it's weird.
But it's okay. I always feel like all the elections, it's always about, we're like the sidebar. When they say, my fellow Americans, they're not talking fellow African Americans. They're talking about white Americans. When they say my fellow Americans, because it's always we're the sidebar. This is me as a stand-up. I always feel that they always got to go, okay, they get in a little room, they go, okay, what do we do about the blacks? What are we going to do? We got to get their vote. They're the most important.
You know, guess what? Joe Biden ain't doing that. I'm telling you.
I'm sure.
But others are, just like they're taking this shit now and saying, well, Kamala Harris is inciting violence against Donald Trump, and that's why people want to assassinate him. Barack Obama's doing it. Joe Biden is doing it. Do you hear the shit that comes out of Trump's mouth?
Yeah, but Trump, what are you expecting? I'm sorry, as a comedian, it's gold. It's gold for me. But he's going to say that. But do you think someone really tried to shoot Trump again?
Do I think someone...
My thing is assassination getting kind of weak? I don't know, because everybody else that's been shot, they shot him. How are they missing this dude? He's a big dude.
Not that you want him to hit them.
I don't want him, but he keeps getting shot at and surviving. You know how many people have been shot and got hit? I mean, Reagan got hit and survived. The Pope got hit and survived. How are they missing this big orange giant dude on a golf course not moving? How did they miss him?
Let me just
say. No, I don't want him to get shot.
I know, you're joking. I get it.
I'm joking, but I'm like, because the first assassination, I was real suspect about it, because his ear healed up like an X-Men the next day. Come on, he got
not before he put the
big band,
the Kotex on there.
Sponsored by Always. They're always shooting, but I dodged it. This is when I knew Trump. This is when I knew Trump was lying about the assassination. The first one, when he goes, "So I heard the bullet." You did? How did you hear the bullet? It's like, I have the best hearing ever. I have the best doctors. My hearing is like an X-Men.
He's like the Matrix.
Yeah. He's like, move, Donald. His hair stood still, but he backed up. But yeah, listen, man.
We're joking, all right? We're not laughing at it.
It's all jokes.
It's all jokes.
But Donald wants to be this historical figure. He will be, just in general. I cannot wait for
him to get up and do the whole thing, like fight.
First of all, that was so great, because you remember he worked for he did wrestling.
Yeah.
So in wrestling they teach you how to bleed. You know that, right? So I think when he went downward, he went like this, because you could do the little razor thing, and the blood was perfectly smeared. And then he goes up and goes, fight, 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 right? With the American flag in the back. It was so perfect. I thought it was a pretty hot poster. I'm gonna keep it. I almost got a t-shirt. I almost did. And then the thing is, he put the fist up. I think he was gonna do that, but he put the fist instead to get the black vote.
Yeah.
He put the black power fist. So we were like, because he was gonna go like this. But he was like, the black vote. Make sure it's a fist.
You are a fool. You are a fool. So we were talking about that. I believe.
Yeah.
Now you tell me, because you're out and about.
I'm always in the streets.
I think there's a secret Trump vote among people who are not picked up in polling, not picked up in focus groups.
Okay.
And I think it's black men, I think it's women
Yes.
in general, and I think it's college students,
I
especially
think-
young males,
I
white
think
males.
People, yeah, white males, yeah. I think there's a lot of people that are closeted Trump voters. You know, I feel that. Listen, man, I thought in the last debate, I thought Kamala held her own. I think she did pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. But I think that people are probably tired of, I don't know, it's like they feel like, people feel like they're tricking us. The Democrats are being tricky. That's how they feel.
Talk to me about that.
It feels like a trick because it's like they're the nicer people. They're just nicer. They just know how to talk to minorities better. And then they go, yeah, everything's going to be cool.
They can talk to the blacks.
To the blacks. Come in. Hey, bring some fried chicken and some hot sauce. Hey, watch this. Watch me do a moonwalk, huh? This'll get the black vote. How about that? Huh? I mean, they do little things to us and insult us. It's like, you know, listen, we talk about the reparations, we talk about, but we're always getting the short end of the stick. African Americans, who, by the way, and you know all of this, the civil rights movement, the bill was all designed for all the foreigners to come in and do whatever they want, open up businesses in black neighborhoods where they disrespect the black people that are actually going in to buy their own stuff from this, all of that stuff, and then we still are asking for the same stuff all the time, asking for, can we just, remember the Asian hate bill? They signed that quick.
Yeah.
Woo! You know why? It was, I feel, and I'm not like a political savvy guy. I don't really, you know, get it mixed up in it, but you can't help it. I think they signed that bill because they go, well, China is like, yo, you guys better sign that bill. You know what I mean? Because China's like, you might want to sign that. China. You might want to sign it because they have a very important relationship with China. Now, if Africa, me being Nigerian, if Africa was all together, if they were all united, then we would get a reparations thing signed. We would get an anti-black bill signed if Africa was united, but it's so divided and colonized. Yeah. That's why we don't get stuff signed.
You want to know how we get reparations? I talk about it. This book came out on last Tuesday.
Well, I got to get it.
And I write about how we can get reparations and how AI is going to help us do it. We have the technology. We have the evidence.
Well, you sound like my man from Steve Austin.
But it's true. We do.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Look.
Yeah, that's what's up, Don.
Go ahead. You talk about some reparations, and I'm going to tell you how we're going to do it.
Let me tell y'all something. We're going to get our reparations. Change going to come, like Sam Cooke, remember?
Do you do a Malcolm X?
What?
Do you do Malcolm X?
I do.
All right, let me hear it.
You're a second-class Negro. That's what you are. See, the black man and the black woman, they're trying to divide us. That's what they're trying to do. You've been hoodwinked. You've been led astray. You've been run amok. These Democrats will pat you on the butt and they'll say, "Oh, you a good Negro." Is we sick, master? That's what we are. We are tap dancing Negroes. And then they get entertainers and clowns to talk for us instead of people who are politically aware, like a Don Lemon. Why can't we have a Don Lemon to question some of these people that are trying to pull the rug under our feet? How was that?
Plymouth Rock?
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Are you doing the brother doing Denzel? Are you doing Denzel?
I
hear Denzel.
Because I have, when I was coming up in college, I listened to a lot of audio of Malcolm X. I'm pretty good at imitating voices, so, you know. Yeah. It is hot in here, boy.
I know, because it took you so long. We had the lights on waiting for your black body. Sorry. But, I almost went there.
Are you from Chicago?
No, I lived in Chicago. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, wow. You Louisiana. So how do you feel about Lil Wayne not getting the spot for the Super Bowl?
Oh, man, somebody talked to me about that today. Who was it that said, oh, Lil Wayne didn't get it? And I said, who was I talking to? Oh, I did a virtual book signing.
Okay.
And it was folks in Louisiana at this bookstore it's a bookstore, po' boy shop, all kinds of shit.
Right.
In New Orleans on Elysian Fields called Melba's.
Okay.
And this guy said, yeah, well, you know, you got to come down for New Year's, but, you know, hey, are you mad? How you feel about Lil Wayne not getting? We thought he was going to get the spot. And I said, no, unfortunately, they not like us. And he started laughing because Kendrick got it.
Because Kendrick, it's not like he doesn't deserve it. He's the hottest thing. His diss record to Drake is huge. He's great for it. You know what? I think what they should do, is maybe have him as a guest come up, because Super Bowl, they always have surprise guests.
Yeah.
The last Super Bowl was great. They had Snoop, they had so many different people. I think it would be dope to have him on there. Maybe they will. Maybe this is all hype. Maybe it's built up hype. Maybe, this is entertainment. Maybe he's like, Lil Wayne was like, I'm disappointed. This stinks. And then when Kendrick comes on, they're gonna bring him on. And maybe.
Can I talk to you about reparations?
Let's
Because
go.
this book about, all right, so
Let's
listen,
go.
I'm talking about Jesus. I'm going to read it, okay?
Oh,
I'm
let's
gonna read
go.
it.
I'm ready.
I said, anyone who wants to call this a Christian nation had better be prepared to follow his example, meaning Jesus, and expunge every trace of those ruthless, profiteering bastards who built their wealth on an inherently evil enterprise that did not end when slavery was outlawed. I'm talking about America, right?
Yes.
Emancipation, Reconstruction, and one black president did not even remotely make it good, and we all know it. The drug of white supremacy is stronger than that. We can never undo the damage done, but we don't have to shrug our shoulders and pretend there's nothing that we can do about it. We now have at our fingertips the technology to solve problems of previously insurmountable complexity. Let's use it. Let's feed it all the historical records and assemble whatever hard data we have. Who did the work? Who got the money?
Yes.
How many hours?
Yes.
How many dollars?
Yes.
All AI allow AI to extrapolate based on solid empirical evidence where that money went. And then we can calculate damages that include, as any civil suit would, pain and suffering, loss of compensation, and other broadly accepted liability factors. We finally have the technology to solve this complex problem of reparations, and doing it by numbers would force us to embrace a history based on irrefutable facts.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Now, tell me, where's the lie? Am I wrong? What you
You're
think?
not lying.
You
I
think-
don't. Here's the thing, too. How can you even? This is just my whole thing. You just don't like African Americans. You just don't like them. That's it. You just don't like them, because it should be an easy thing to go, you know what? We do owe you. We appreciate all the inventions you invented that we stole the patents from. I mean, we can look at all the things that people use. From the light bulb with Lewis Latimer, from the GPS with Dr. Gladys West, who's still alive. She's like 90. From 3D imaging, from
the alarm system in your house.
The alarm system, Mary Van Brighton
elevator.
from Queens, the elevator, the street sweeper. I mean,
The red light.
dry cleaning, the gas mask, locomotive innovations. I mean, we black people literally invented. Even when you were talking about tampons, that's the Kenner lady. She made tampons. She invented tampons.
Now, what you think about Eli Whitney and the cotton gin?
Anyway.
I'm trying to be funny.
But we were doing, black people were, African Americans were doing all the work. So innovation from their
Peanut butter.
Doing.
Someone says Sapphire says
Well,
peanut butter.
First of all, George Washington Carver not only did peanut butter, but he did soap, detergents, diets. He literally single-handedly changed the whole agriculture of the South. And Thomas Edison wanted to hire George Washington Carver, but George said, I want to stay in the South.
Somebody in the comments says Tim Walz invented tampon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the gas mask,
The gas
ironing
mask.
board, washing machine,
Open heart surgery,
Open heart
Daniel
surgery.
Ellisco.
You said
Plasma,
Someone
Charles
said
Drew.
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, the nearest guy. He was the distiller, the black distiller. The nearest. He has a bottle, his family has a bottle dedicated to Jack Daniels, took that from the guy nearest.
Hamburgers for everyone, virtual they're giving away free food.
Oh, Fat Burger was a black woman. Lovey, I forgot her last name, but it's a black woman. The big Fat Burgers all in California is a black woman, and they barely talk about that. I know. Black folks are really amazing.
But it's amazing too. We've kind of veered off a little bit.
I'm sorry.
No. I like it. To think about how we move culture right now. If you look at who's at the Super Bowl, right?
It's all hip hop. Hip hop's the number one. And black culture has been number one forever.
But it's all coming back around because who helped to bring that hip hop to where it is now? One of the biggest hip hop moguls ever in history.
Jay-Z.
Sean Diddy.
Sean, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to knock his accomplishments. Sean Diddy Combs, he did do that, But, they make money. Well, look at the Super Bowl. It's nothing but really black athletes playing in a stadium. It's speed, agility. It's It's black folks again. But all the work we put on, and you're mad at Kaepernick because he goes, hey, could you quit killing our people? And by the way, Kaepernick was told to kneel
That's
down.
your camera right there.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Don. Now, Kaepernick was told to kneel by a white soldier told him to do that.
Yes.
He told him, hey, why don't you kneel instead of making a bunch of noise? He said, okay.
Wasn't it someone from Special Forces?
Yes, and then the whites were like, still though, he's still disrespecting the flag, but you're wearing the flag on your cowboy hat, and that's sacrilege.
Yeah.
You lay down the flag on the football field, sacrilege. You're
You
not
put it
supposed-
on a T-shirt.
You
with
put it on a
Donald
T-shirt
Trump.
and your little bikinis and go, America, yeah. That's all sacrilege, but a black dude that kneels down because he ain't tap dancing for you, you say it's sacrilege. Basically, listen, a lot of white folks, not all, just make this disclaimer, not all, a lot of you love to remix your hatred for black folks. You have a different beat. But whenever you complain about stuff, it's always deflecting. You just don't like black folks. That's what you should say. Like, we just don't want you to don't kneel because we don't like you. We just want you to play, entertain us, score touchdowns, and go home.
Yeah.
You understand? And please don't live in our neighborhoods either.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw a picture of Donald Trump's signing an American flag the other day. I'm like, that's flag desecration.
Yeah, that's
You're not supposed to be doing that.
signing.
You're not supposed to put it on a T-shirt.
Sign-
You're not supposed to put it on a hat.
No.
It's not supposed to touch the ground.
No.
All kinds of stuff.
I think it's.
But we pick and choose how we're going to, the same thing that we do with the Bible and God.
Oh, and what's hilarious, I really hope that these people that, especially, you know those people that used to burn crosses? You know those people.
Yeah.
Well, and it ain't Wu-Tang. It's a clan, but it ain't Wu-Tang. I hope, and they always say, in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Boy, you're going to be mad when Jesus shows up. Whew. Going to be kind of dark.
I call in the book, just so you know, I called Jesus the biggest shit disturber there was.
He sure was.
He was.
He was. And I know he was a dark man. I know he was black because, come on, if Jesus...
No, my statue and my picture in my church said Jesus was blonde and blue-eyed.
Oh, then if Jesus was blonde and blue-eyed, he would have had no problems in the Bible.
You know I'm joking, right?
No, of course. Jesus would. Imagine you reading a book and Jesus is white. They'd be like, "Hello, Jesus, how are you? You need some bread for your and fish?
How much
Sure
you
I do.
need? Yeah.
How much you need? Free. You don't have to pay for it."
But I think that would solve a lot of our problems.
What?
I always say if we get the right depiction of Jesus, if we
Yes.
went into churches and we put it into books and we told people, hey, Jesus was not blonde hair, blue eyes, that he was this dark Jew, right?
Hair of lamb's
Sephardic,
wool.
Right. that he was dark.
Yeah, he was.
And he looked like a Middle Easterner. He was Jewish, but he
I
was dark.
think he was a black Middle Easterner. I don't
Right.
want to hear that because it's ancient. We were on the planet first. How is it that we're not around anymore? But when you say black, people get so angry. I know he's black. That's why I know he's black, because you're so mad at it. Because it was hot over there. Now, if Jesus were white, I think there should be scripture of him suffering from sunburn. That's all I'm saying. Right? Matthew touches Jesus on the shoulder, and Matthew goes, Oweth, Jesus. Thy skinneth is tendereth with thy toucheth it. Isn't that how they talk? Toucheth it. And listen, it said he had skin of burned brass. Burned. Let's just stop at burned.
You all right?
What does something look like when it's burned?
This is why you hot as hell in here, because you so damn animated. All right, listen. So look, you see like that. Show the full screen tweet of the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Do we have that? Do we have the 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
Johnson's baby. Yo, why? The memes are getting real nasty. The memes are not
Poor
right.
Diddy. I mean, well, you know.
Well, you know what? I don't really feel sorry for him because after seeing that Cassie video, and I met Cassie when I was at SiriusXM before they fired me, but yeah, she had sunglasses, she was so sweet, and she had dark glasses on. Something was wrong going on with her.
And you knew.
And the video just, that sealed the deal.
But I think they got the wrong baby oil on that thing. We're talking about clear bottle baby oil.
Take that.
We're not talking about
Take that.
We're not talking about
Take that.
scented baby oil.
Scented baby oil. Take that.
This
Take that.
This is organic,
Organic.
no scent.
Don't leave a cent. Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Take this money. Take this honey. Ain't no way. He has some jams though. I ain't gonna
Somebody said if we have Diddy in court say take that, we're not going back.
What if the judge goes, take that, take that, take that, 10 years, take that, take that.
You're a fool.
Hey man, it's a comeuppance though.
Look, we gotta laugh because
Yeah.
it's so crazy. All right, so
Yeah.
we talked about the freak offs and all of that.
Yes.
Let me just talk about this. Understand that you do a good Vice President Kamala Harris.
Oh, with no words though.
Oh, okay, let's see.
If I'm president, and
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Because you ain't never gonna be invited to the White House.
oh shit.
Now, if Trump comes in, you will, because you said he was a G for doing that. But if she gets in, you're not invited.
Why can't I be
You can't go to the
invited? She'll
cookout.
love me.
You think so?
I need to be invited to the White House. You
That's-
always
he's
go.
telling
you
you your
always
camera
go.
is over here.
I need to be invited to the White
Oh,
House.
I have to bogart my way in there.
You're Don Lemon. What you talking about? You
Listen.
get invited to everything.
Listen.
You always. I saw you at the fashion thing. I saw you do your little. That was hilarious. You did a little.
Oh, with the coat? Bah! Oh, Mark
I'm
Jacobs.
out.
Oh, people were like, oh, I got so much shit for that. But I'm like, you know what? Mark Jacobs is going to dress me.
Yo.
I'm going to be on the red
You
carpet.
worked it.
I'm
You
like,
went in and said, yeah, fire. That is crazy.
Why not? You're going to do it,
I'm
right?
like, right. Go all out.
Come on, everyone's like, you're a journalist. You should not. I'm like,
No.
what? I'm not
Wait
a
minute.
person?
You're a human being.
Thank you.
You got style. And another thing too is there's people wearing lampshades and you know what is his name? Billy Porter. You know he
I
goes
was
all
going to say,
out.
what do you think about that now? What do you think about? Because there's a lot of brothers who are like dressing. They are. What do you call them? Gender bending.
My thing is dress if it's natural to you. Don't dress because you think it's the right. I don't listen, man. I like the way I dress. You dress what feels comfortable to you.
Yeah.
Don't just dress because it's a fad. Like Billy Porter is really about that.
Right.
Porter is really about that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Porter goes, no, you don't. You know you're not with that. It's like Rick Owens.
Yeah.
This is a Rick Owens, but I don't wear some of the stuff he wears. It's really crazy. But that's not my style.
But you
I'm
know
more
what?
subtle.
You know what's interesting now? So, we've been wearing these sort of skinny jeans and peg legs forever. And I remember when they came in, I'm old enough, and I was like, I feel like a girl wearing this.
Yeah.
Right? Because you
Yeah.
wear the short,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's tight
yeah.
on the ankle.
Yeah.
But now big pants are coming back.
Big pants
And so I've been wearing it. I'm like, man, I feel feminine in these pants because they're so big on the bottom. It's so weird how things change.
But I got big jeans now.
But Godfrey, it's all drag when you think about it. Men used to wear dresses and wigs, powdered wigs.
It's the facts. All of this stuff is all the same. It all comes back around and around. Every 10 years, it's like, oh, Bell's bottoms are back. And these fashion people get so bored. That's why is there Fashion Week still? It should be Fashion Day. Stop it. It's the same stuff. Oh, no, there's a pocket. It's angled this time. Who is that? That's Michael Kors? Oh, my God, that's Vera
Ford.
Wang. Vera Wang has the pocket on the knee. Did you see the show? Huh? It should be a day. Oh, come on.
All right, speaking of the laugh, because you do the Kamala Harris laugh for me, please. All right. So she spoke. Remember Donald Trump spoke at the NABJ with all those girls and, excuse me.
NABJ.
Young ladies, journalists, excuse me.
It's the National Association for Black Jobs. For black jobs.
Well, the Vice President Kamala Harris spoke to the NABJ today, and she actually defended her laugh, and she had some fun with it. Watch
Her
this.
laugh is
Watch
great.
this. Put your earpiece in. Oh, it's right here.
Back to my joyful part.
And your opponent and Republicans have at times weaponized you laughing in campaign ads, for example. Why is joy important to you to insert into this election? And what do you make of Republicans using that as a way to suggest that you're not a serious candidate?
Well, sometimes I think, and I'll say to whoever the young people are who are watching this, there are some times when your adversaries will try and turn your strength into a weakness. Don't you let them. Don't you let them. I find joy in the American people. I find joy and optimism in what I see to be our future and our ability to invest in it. I find joy in the ambition of the people. I find joy in the dreams of the people. I find joy in building community. I find joy in building coalitions. I find joy in believing that the true measure of the strength of a leader is not based on who you beat down, but who you lift up. And I think we should all find joy and have a sense of optimism about who we are as Americans and what we mean to each other and what we can do to lift each other up.
Madam Vice President.
So
I thought
she said,
it was
when
great.
you thought, what do you think?
I love her laugh. It's how she laughs. That's
By the
how
way, she
laughs.
sounds like she has a cold. And she sounds tired to me, and who
Yeah.
wouldn't be? So
She's
that's
young.
not a
No,
criticism.
First
but
of all, campaigning is hard.
hell.
I
So-
don't even know why people want to run for office. Good for them, man. You know
Thank
what
you.
I'm saying?
I'm like, someone said,
I'm
do
like,
you want to be a politician? Someone asked me on a book thing. I'm like, no way. But she said, Pete, your opponents always try to turn your strength into a weakness. And, you know, she laughs. Okay, fine. So she laughs. What?
She laughs. I think it's great. It humanizes her. I mean, I guess politicians, you know, Barack had a smile, you know, Clinton laughed a little bit, but the whole image of the politician is like, you only smile on, yeah, but she laughs like she's one of the homies. Like, she's like, and that would be your presence like,
But I love that she has a potty mouth too, because she's on there. She's telling her niece, "You need to learn how to effing cook."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like that.
And she's super smart. She was a prosecutor. She went to school. I mean, come on. And he goes, first of all, the fact that he was like talking about, well, she for a long time she was Indian. 10 months she was Indian. And then all of a sudden, she's black. I don't know. Last week, about 5 minutes ago, she turned into a black person. That was the funniest. Can I say shit?
Yes, you
That
can
was
say
the
shit.
funniest shit.
Aren't you on YouTube?
I'm sorry.
And Godfrey We Trust,
But
right?
it's
That's your
Don
channel.
Lemon. I know.
Okay.
I heard you curse, and I was like,
you
Don,
can
cursing.
say shit. Come on.
Yo, that was the funniest shit, because even the black people in the audience were laughing. She turned into a black person. I know. I haven't.
See,
I
I've
don't
never
know
been
her that
black
well.
before.
I've known her back and forth for many years, and she was always Indian. Always Indian. And then all of a sudden, she turns into a black person. El Negro. She turns into a Negro. Negra? It's Negro. It's a woman, so it's Negra. It's very, and you know what? I kind of, sort of agree with him. I kind of agree with him, because there's stuff that he says that is very true. And I really believe she probably, I don't know this, but she could have leaned, because there are people, I call them B-Wicks, black when it's convenient.
Woo! I know some. There's a lot in the journalism business. Because they're like, oh, let me try to get some of this diversity, whatever.
Yeah,
and
and
they'll be black.
they'll be black when it's convenient. Like, oh yeah, it's like, okay, it's like I have this whole thing about Dominicans, because I have this joke.
Oh,
that
I
talk about.
love your Dominican thing.
I
And
know
said
black.
that.
I know black, Papa. I know black. I know looking just like me and you. I
Yeah.
know black, Papa. I'm Dominican.
No, they look more like you. They're
They're
darker than
darker than me. Be blue black. I go. I know black, Papa. I'm Dominican. I said that's a place. No. I'm Dominican. Is that a new Crayola color, bro? Because you're Afro. Yeah, I know black, Papa. And I said, if African Americans got all the reparations, let's just say your whole idea worked, and every African American descendant of slaves got all their money, Dominicans would be like, I'm black. I forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm black. I was a slave. I was a slave. I used to pick the cotton like that. One by one. Uno y uno. I'm telling you, I'm a slave. I'm black. Look at chocolate. Listen, I used to sing the song. Wade in the agua. Wade in the agua. Listen, escucharme, mi gente. I am black, baby. Kissing my black ass. Kissing my black ass. I'm black. I forgot. I was just playing, Papa. Where's my money? Where my money?
Where's reparations?
Reparación. Where? ¿De dónde es reparación?
Oh my God.
¿De dónde?
I used to hear that. There were people I knew, let's just say that I worked with them, adjacently, right? They
Yeah.
didn't work for CNN.
Yeah.
But they had adjacent jobs, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, oh, what's up, brothers? And I'd talk to them, and oh, I'm no black, Dominican. I'm like, okay. Okay. Oh, this is where people talk
You're
about
lighter than that.
white Hispanics. I'm like, okay.
They'll say, we are, listen, I know the history of the Dominican Republic. Everybody can see that. We are Taino. I said, yeah, Taino Indians, they were decimated in the 1500s, okay? But your phenotype is, you see Afro, you see European, they're both, but there's African all in you.
You just reminded me of something. I saw this video the other day, and it was neo-Nazis, right? And I
I-
guess it's
I
probably
love
the new
watching
Klan.
those
Okay,
guys.
so they were saying that, yes, Native Americans, they should have their own homeland. African Americans should have their own homeland. Blah, and they were going through things, and they said white people should have their homeland. I'm like, white is not an ethnicity.
Right.
It's like if you said, okay, Irish people,
Should go back to Ireland.
right, and then it would be like, well, who would be in America? The native people.
But people say Native Americans like it's a throwaway word. The Native Americans.
No.
No. The Native
Americans.
Americans.
And those are the real
But they
Americans.
go, the Native Americans, the Native Americans,
Yeah.
the Native Americans need their homeland. You're sitting on it.
Yeah.
Why don't you get the fuck off and let us have our land back? Hello?
Now that was bad.
I know. But still.
We used to do that as a kid. You can't do that
But
shit.
no, of
But
course not.
I know I'm
I
fucking
would
with
ne-
you.
And there are black Indians too. Remember that.
Of course.
Of course there are.
You know, look, my grandmother was Indian.
I heard that.
My grandmother was not no damn
See
Indian.
my baby
my
hair?
great-grandmother.
That's Indian. See, I'm Cree. See, that's Cree. See how that's Sioux Indian right there. That's where that curl come from. That's Sioux.
That curl comes from Nairobi.
I'm Nigerian. That's. I'm sorry. That's not that.
Okay, this is Kamala Harris, the
Yes.
vice president,
Yes.
talking about Trump's second assassination attempt at the NABJ
all right.
today. It's
President
been-
Biden
right-
spoke to former President
President
Trump
Biden spoke to
after
former President
the
Trump.
attempt on his life this weekend. Have you spoken to him?
I have.
And earlier today, I assume.
Yes.
How'd that go? You want to give us some intel?
Sure. I checked on him to see if he was okay.
Yeah.
And I told him what I have said publicly. There's no place for political violence in our country. I am in this election and in this race for many reasons, including to fight for our democracy. And in a democracy, there is no place for political violence. We can and should have healthy debates and discussion and disagreements, but not resort to violence to resolve those issues.
On January 6th, your vehicle was allowed to kind of pass a viable pipe bomb. We've seen.
No, I was in the building.
You were in the building. And we've seen what's happening with former President Trump. Do you have full confidence in the Secret Service to
I do.
protect all of you?
I do.
You feel safe for you and your family?
I do. But, I mean, you can go back to Ohio. Not everybody has Secret Service. And there are far too many people in our country right now who are not feeling safe. I mean, I look at Project 2025, and I look at, like the Don't Say Gay laws coming out of Florida. Members of the LGBTQ community don't feel safe right now. Immigrants or people with an immigrant background don't feel safe right now. Women don't feel safe right now. And so, yes, I feel safe. I have Secret Service protection. But that doesn't change my perspective on the importance of fighting for the safety of everybody in our country. And doing everything we can to, again, lift people up and not beat people down so they feel alone and are made to feel small and made to feel like they're somehow not a part of it or us.
Well, see, we got it.
I like what you
I say, so look, she's good. She's smart.
Very.
She very deftly answered that
very,
question,
very.
and then she knifed him.
Yeah,
While
yeah.
she was doing it. Yeah, she's like,
Yeah. Go ahead.
you go. What'd you
No,
think?
no. I like what she said. But when Elon Musk said, how come no one's trying to shoot? I mean, Elon Musk, man. Yo, you need to shut your thieving from South Africa ass up. See, it's like, why would you say that kind of shit? You know what I mean? And it's like, no one's trying to shoot Kamala Harris. And Elon, you got your wealth from South Africa. Your parents, I mean, it's real. I read about that. You got all your wealth from South Africa. You stole it. You're one of them colonizers. You should keep your mouth shut. That's how I feel. I just thought it was wrong. I thought what she said was great. Yeah, she doesn't want violence on anybody. I wonder if it was Kamala, would Trump say the same thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You always wonder.
Did you see how I like the way she answered that, but did you see how she walked across that stage and she's like, at the debate?
Oh, yeah.
Kamala Harris.
Yep.
damn glad to meet
Damn,
you.
and
I'm about to get in your ass now.
and he was waving. He was like, "How you doing? I put locked people as big as you up. Oh yeah, don't let it happen, bro. You got the wrong one. Fuck around, find out."
And he did it. What'd you think of the debate?
I thought she smoked him. She smacked him around, but she like almost anticipated what he was gonna be like. She goes, "See."
Did you, was you,
Same
I think it was
playbook.
Van Jones or someone said, I wish she would have she beat on, when a team is ahead like 50 points, it's like, okay, stop.
Don't score another touchdown.
Don't score. Yeah. Did you feel that? I was like,
but
come
Trump
on, Van.
still came back and said, "I whooped her. I beat her."
Well,
But he's supposed to. That's what Trump's supposed. I was so good. She was so afraid of me, and they don't want to do another. And why didn't they have an audience? Tell me why they didn't have an audience.
Because they think an audience is putting your thumb on the scale, and it is an audience is they're going to be cheering for certain people and whatever. I remember CNN tried that with their town hall, and it was like full of Trump people, and they were yelling, and every time Trump capped on the whatever, he'd get a joke on the host, and they would be like,
it was like a comedy
club.
club.
Yeah, it was like, so.
Oh, okay, because they did it in a little closet. But David did a good job. Mirror.
Yes,
Did a
David
really good
and
job.
Lindsay Davis
Oh,
was.
jeez, she fine. Too.
Not only. Say that again.
I know she's fine. I know you married, but hey, if things go wrong, let me know.
She's a good-looking woman, but she is.
What?
Smart.
I was like,
she's brilliant.
I kept saying, "Let the lady talk, David." I see David in my gym. David Muir, good job.
Jacked.
Oh yeah, David don't play. You know, he's awesome. I see him in my gym.
Yeah.
Go Equinox.
Equinox, give us our sponsorship money.
You
for
know
that.
what I'm saying? Shit. Don Lemon, folks. This
Come
is
on
Don
now.
Lemon, man.
So I thought the debate was good.
Yes.
I liked the way she handled herself. I thought Donald Trump, when I was watching it in the moment, I was like, wow, he is steamrolling everybody. The MAGA people are going to say he's strong, he's a man.
Yeah.
But she handled it perfectly. She's like, no, I'm going to let him run his mouth.
Let him run his
I'm
mouth.
gonna let him run his
And
mouth.
was
It turned
They're
everybody
eating
off.
the dogs, the cats, and they're barbecuing parakeets. I got a question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your boy Vivek? Remember that whole situation? Because I'm going to tell you, I met him. And not on purpose. I went to a Wu-Tang concert, Jizza, at Sony Hall.
Oh, Lord.
And my buddy, Adam, shout out to my boy Adam Hunter, comic. He goes, hey man, he invited me to a Wu-Tang. He knows I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. And Jizza was there. I said, I'm gonna go see him at Sony Hall. I said, and then he goes, we're in the concert. He goes, hey, I'm a friend. I know Vivek Ramaswamy is upstairs trying to get in. I said, what'd you just say? He goes, Vivek. I said, the Indian that was running for, he goes, yeah. So I go up, can you get him in? Because I knew all the bouncers. And I go, yeah, hey, let my man in. And he goes, hey, Godfrey, man, thanks, man. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. I'm a big Wu-Tang fan, man. I really, you got to do my podcast. Do you live in Columbus? Are you coming to Columbus? Anytime. I would love you. I mean, this country really needs new leadership. You understand where I'm coming from?
How do you do that shit, man?
I just listen. I just listen. This country. Let's not get into all these semantics. Let's get to what we really have to understand. Black people, white, it doesn't matter.
What do you think about people like that? Because for him, the Tim Scotts of the world or whatever,
Tim Scott.
It's like the shortest line to the front to me. You know what I'm saying?
Vivek, I'd rather listen to Vivek than Tim Scott. But go ahead.
For real.
Tim Scott is just like, is you with, is you ain't my baby. Baby, please don't let me down. A woman is a creature that's always been strange. And then you go around, then she done gone made a change. Shut up, handkerchief head ass. He is embarrassing. At least Vivek did. Vivek, of course, he pandered, but if Vivek didn't do it like that, he had more dignity, I think. I mean, Vivek, like people like Vivek, he's really polished, that guy. That guy is, I watched him I think they showed him in college, like a debater. He was always that guy. Yeah. Like, yeah, and I'm going to tell you. But
it's one of those people that talk fast.
He talks,
you know who else
really
talks fast, and sometimes you don't saying nothing, but they talk fast.
Like
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens, I was going to say that.
Just talk fast, and you're like, oh, she's talking fast. She must be really smart because she's talking so fast about people.
They keep going.
And they
keep
just
going.
keep going.
Yeah,
And
and
then when you actually play back what they're saying, you're like
what?
What?
Sometimes they sound like on point, but a broken clock. You know what I mean?
So I talk about Vivek and that moment.
Do
on
you?
CNN
That was
in the morning.
Crazy.
Yeah,
You were
I
in
talked
the
about that
right.
here.
You were in the right.
Duh.
You were totally in the right.
Of course I know
He's
I was
like,
in the
and
right.
you were like, don't you tell me about my, don't you get, I was like, hell yeah.
You can't do it, Don Lemon. I'm hard to do,
I was
don't
like,
you think?
yeah, you are hard to do.
Yeah.
Let me see. Nah,
You can't do me.
Watch. I'll get you. Watch.
Okay, so what do you think Kamala's chances are? Excuse me, I feel so familiar with her just because Kamala,
I
like
think
the name.
that she has
Vice
a
president.
massive chance. I mean, I'm sitting because as the election gets closer, who knows what these cats are going to be up to? All of a sudden, all the voting booths are going to be in the water. All of a sudden they go smoke gas a place where black people were voting. So who knows what these old white dudes have in store because they're going to bring back slavery
Oh my
right
God.
before November.
They're gonna put all the black folks
all
out
black.
there.
They were catching black people.
No, I
in
mean
nets,
like,
hey, what the hell?
They're gonna put out what's his name? The doctor, what's his name? The brain surgeon that was running for president.
Ben Carson?
Carson. They're gonna put out Tim Scott. By the way, Tim Scott, I just love you. Do you remember when he said that?
Oh, and Don's like, "You're a big coon. You're such a coon. You're such a coon. You're the biggest coon. You're so embarrassing. I've never seen a black person so embarrassing. I mean, Sammy Davis was a great tapper, but he was an actual tap dancer. You tap too much there, Tom. Oh,
Wow.
Tim Scott, you're so coonish. You're a big coon.
Right now, the person who's really carrying the water for everybody. Oh shit! I'm trying not to.
Tim Scott, I said it. Fuck out of here.
He's married now.
Is it a white woman? Who did he marry? Who did Tim Scott marry? And I have no problem with interracial stuff, but it's like, when cats like him do it, it's not a love thing. It's like, I'm gonna get me a white woman. Oh Lord have mercy. I'm gonna get a white woman and then that's gonna take me to the top. Lord have mercy. Some people strategically do it.
Send yourself to him.
Yeah.
This is not me.
Come get me. Godfrey Comic
Oh,
is my
my
Instagram.
gosh.
Godfrey Comic. Lord have mercy. Ooh, my name Tim Scott. Tim Shuffling Scott. And let me tell you something right now. Lord have mercy. He did it on the podium. He did it himself. Remember, he was like, oh, and I look.
Oh yeah, all right, he did.
Remember?
He talked about
Yeah.
no, he did this thing where he was acting like a preacher. Or
It
something.
was the weirdest.
It was weird. Yeah,
And even Donald was like, okay, that's Tim Scott. That's a coon.
Is Obama helpful to Harris?
Yeah, definitely. Obama is that secret power, I think. Obama comes when it's necessary. I think he's giving her like, I'm just going to tell you, you just got to pace yourself. You'll be just fine, okay? Donald is, he's stupid. That's what he is. He's like a big kid. He's like
He's his obsession with crowd sizes.
Yeah, he has an obsession with crowd size. And Obama knew that was
He
a
knew it. He was
punchline.
like-
He was like, that's a mic drop.
Yeah, but you know what? The biggest secret weapon, I think. Who? Michelle Obama.
Michelle murdered that. I don't know.
Her speech was better than his. I'm sorry.
But Obama even said, I don't know why I'm up here
Right.
trying to follow Michelle. She murdered. I thought they were going to vote for her for president. She damn near took Kamala's spot. She
Who's
was
gonna
so
tell him?
tight. She was fantastic. Chicago.
But she had her moment too. Who's going to tell him that one of these jobs he's seeking just might be a black
job.
A black job. And she
Punchline.
did the thing. And the
Punchline.
face.
Boom, and the face.
And the face.
She murdered. She wrecked shop.
Are you following Springfield situation?
Oh, with
They're
the
eating
Haitians?
the dogs and eating the cats. Because, listen, okay.
The mayor came out and was like, "No, it's not true. The Haitians are legal. They're hardworking. They're actually helping the economy."
Mm-hmm.
Da 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 da. Go ahead.
Okay. Kamala Harris talking about the situation in Springfield. It's on the back. You got to go all the way around. There you go. That's this side right here. There you go. All right, thank you, sir.
This is not new.
This is not new, she said.
This is not new in terms of these tropes. This is not new in terms of where it's coming from. And, you know, whether it is refusing to rent to people, rent to black families, whether it is taking out a full-page ad in the New York Times against 5 innocent black and Latino teenagers, the Central Park 5, calling for their execution, whether it is referring to the first black president of the United States with a lie.
Is that?
It froze. That's okay. But anyway,
That's all right.
she's like, this is not new. You get the point. I think maybe that was the end.
It's the rhetoric. It's the same old rhetoric. It's the same old race baiting.
It's racist.
Of
Let's just
course it. But what else would it be? I'm sorry. Listen. This is not all my white brothers and sisters. It's not all of you. But racism is your thing. That's your game. That's your talent. You understand? It's your talent to bring up race.
Is this Sidney Poitier you're doing right now?
Oh no, they call me Mr. Tibbs. I watched that.
Isn't he Haitian?
No, he's Bahamian.
Bahamian.
Like
okay.
Esther Roll is Bahamian.
Yes, Bahamian. Yeah.
Shirley Chisholm.
Esther Roll.
Damn! Florida, baby. I'm gonna tell you, baby. I can't get a job, Florida. But I'm gonna get one though, Florida.
Okay, so listen, I want to play this because
Yes.
this is from a movie clip from 30 years ago that I want to play. And it reminds me of the situation that is happening now. Now remember, this is 30 years ago.
Okay.
Put your earpiece on.
Oh, here we go.
30 years ago.
Okay, 30.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Clueless is the movie.
Okay, like right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America. But some people are all, what about the strain on our resources? But it's like when I had this garden party for my father's birthday, right? I said RSVP because it was a sit-down dinner. But people came that did not RSVP. So I was totally bugging. I had to haul ass to the kitchen, redistribute the food, squish in extra place settings. But by the end of the day, it was the more the merrier. And so, if the government could just get to the kitchen, rearrange some things, we could certainly party with the Haitians. And in conclusion, may I please remind you that it does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty. Thank you very much.
30 years, and
I hate
Republicans are just as reactionary. By the way, the story behind that clip is that she actually pronounced it wrong when she was doing it.
Yeah.
And the producer-director, they left it in.
Because it's clueless.
Because it's clueless. and
It's so for
hilarious.
Haitians. That's
But
really.
Haitians, I mean, it sounds to me like
Yeah.
the shit that I hear coming out of J.D. Vance's mouth, or I hear coming out of Trump's mouth. It reminds me of they're eating the dogs or eating the cats.
Yeah,
And here we are.
That's just, first of all, and I have Haitian friends. I don't know if you have Haitian friends.
I have some Haitian friends.
I have some Haitian friends. I have Haitian friends.
As a matter of fact, I owe one of my Haitian friends a call. She wants me to call her about this situation.
Yeah, I have a lot of Haitian friends, and Haiti is a very powerful people. They freed themselves from France, and they're paying France back for not wanting to be slaves. You got Desoline, you got Ouverture, you got all the different Haitian revolutionaries, and they're strong people, and I hope that, and the mayor there is actually backing them, saying they're not eating dogs, they're all
the
legal.
governor, the Republican governor, Mike DeWine,
and
is
he's
saying
like,
it's not.
he's
saying they're contributing to
oh,
the economy.
it's the governor. Sorry,
Yeah,
okay.
no, the mayor and the governor.
It's like they're helping the economy, but
Right.
black people have always helped the economy. Diversity, Latinos have always helped the economy. It's just this. I'm sorry, it's just this white racist. It just and it's like all these. I love when they go, all these damn Mexicans, they're all coming in here. They're taking over. I go, where do you live? El Paso. But you're at Taco Tuesday. But you celebrate Cinco de Mayo. But Mexicans were here before you.
Yeah.
They were
That's why it's
cowboys
called
before you.
New Mexico, right?
Right.
So listen, So this is pretty much saying what you're saying. This is a woman who lives in Springfield.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes long, but we'll cut it short. But
Okay.
this is to give you an idea. This woman, sometimes you hear people, right, just from everyday citizens. People aren't stupid.
Right.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
She lives in Springfield. She's got some words
Okay.
of wisdom.
Friends, coming to you live from Springfield. Yes, that's Springfield. And I am looking weary today because I am. Though we have been featured on many national news outlets this summer, it has been 3 days since we are thrust into the most ridiculous of national news conversations. I know many of you are finding the news coming out of Springfield, Ohio to be hilarious and meme-worthy, but I will tell you, living here, it is anything but funny. And I know this makes me sound like the wet blanket that can't take a joke, but what is happening in our community groups, of course, those community groups are being flooded by people who have never stepped foot in our town. But even before that, what is happening in our community groups is a level of vitriol and nationalism that I have never seen. I find it important to tell you that there are definitely people causing a lot of problems here in Springfield, but it's the people who look like me. You'll see people saying that Springfield is turning into a third world country, but I will tell you that the people marching with AR-15s in the street are white. The people threatening violence on our community are white. None of us deny that the increase to our population has strained our resources, and the language barriers are causing challenges that we need to work through. The fact is simply that we're under-resourced. We do need more doctors, we do need more translators, we do need people in public service offices like the DMV. However, I don't know how this has landed us in a place where many segments of our population fear violence on a daily basis. Yesterday absolutely broke my heart as I saw our city hall evacuated.
Yeah. So you
One
get
of our
the point.
elementary
The city hall was evacuated.
Good for her for speaking up.
And the town is basically shut down of 60,000 people. Of course, if you have an influx of people, by the way, they're legal.
Yes.
You're going to have some issues, right? When you're trying to, for lack of a better word, assimilate people, trying to get people together, there are going to be some challenges.
Yeah.
But you don't have to politicize it and racialize it and be a racist about it. And they're using this as a political cudgel now. If you really want to help with immigration, why can't you sit around and figure out how to help people?
That's it.
Rather than saying, they're eating the dogs, they're killing, they're murderers, they're rapists.
Well, you're talking about people who came to America and murdered everybody. They were let in and, like, you look at, I'm from Chicago, grew up in Chicago, born in Nebraska, grew up in Chicago, from Nigeria to Nebraska.
Is there black people in Nebraska?
Gabrielle Union's family is huge in Nebraska.
I used to live in Illinois. I know.
You know what time it is. Malcolm X, Nebraska.
Yes.
But you're talking about, like, okay, let's talk about the German brewers that came to the Midwest. Anheuser-Busch, Lowenbrau, all of those German brewers, they were Germans. They came into the Midwest to brew beer. They were immigrants. They didn't speak English. You know what I mean? So it's all of a sudden there's people who don't look like them that are doing the same thing.
Look at all these tech titans. They're immigrants.
They're all immigrants. And let me tell you, there's nothing you could do about it. So they're all coming. The Asians, everybody's coming. I don't know if those old tactics, they're getting back to old tactics. Let's march down the street with these corny ass white boys and they probably got their mask over their face because they're probably working right next to a Haitian. And so they're walking around going, we gotta get our country back. Did you ever see the Arnold Schwarzenegger video where he started making fun of the Nazis here? Mm-hmm. Did you ever see that? Yeah. He's like, you're not even real Nazis. Yeah. You're not even real.
You're not even real.
You're not even real. I'm from Austria, the real thing. Stop all this. He didn't do that, but you're not even a real Nazi. You shave your head with the boots and you're doing this. It's not real. It's dumb. For Arnold,
he's right.
He's totally right. For Arnold to tell you you're not even a good Nazi.
Yeah. But here's the thing that people have to realize. All of us, right?
Yes.
I mean, so look, I'm in a business.
Yes.
That is shrinking. The broadcast news business is shrinking. They don't want to pay the salaries anymore. The revenue, it's all shrinking, right?
Yes.
And so that comes to all of us at some point.
Yes.
Now I'm not saying it's, that it's okay.
Right.
But look at, we used to rely on fossil fuels a lot.
Yeah.
Now there's electric cars, right?
Yes.
So things move on, right?
Yes.
People used to have to build giant computers.
Yeah.
Now you got a computer in your pocket.
In your pocket.
The computer has melded with the phone. I have that old phone. You see that old phone over there?
Yeah.
It's a dial phone. It's an old black phone. You don't have that anymore. People used to
No.
make those, right?
They used to make
so
those.
Things change. And you cannot blame it on immigrants or black people or Mexicans or whatever. You have to adapt.
Yeah, but it's an insecurity, especially when
we are owed this. This is ours.
Yeah,
You're taking it and stealing
the stuff you stole, you didn't earn. you took from people because they let you in, and now it's starting to change. America's turning brown again. It's starting to, but people have earned their, think about it, they've earned their shit. Black people are getting where they're getting to. Boy, aren't black women the most educated in America?
Most educated.
And this is coming from you not letting black folks read. It was illegal for black people to read. This is from black women slaves being raped every day and worked on medically with no anesthesia. And they're still the #1 in education. What is that saying about your race? You're mediocre at best. You had a 100-year head start, and everybody's whooping your ass.
You're going to get your behind in trouble.
I'm ready for the smoke. I got my shoes on. What's good? I'm just saying, historically.
I like it that you're telling the truth.
I have white friends that are educated about this. You got Tim Wise. You ever heard of Tim Wise?
Yeah, Tim Wise is an old friend.
This is what I'm saying. Tim Wise.
By the way, they hate him.
You got Jane Elliott that are speaking to. George Carlin was one of my favorite comedians. So there are lots of whites that know this knowledge. It's like this panic is coming from. The wool is being being pulled out over. You know, people are saying, shining a light on, you've been mediocre all this time. And I'm not saying there aren't great white folks and smart white, but a lot of your shit has been unearned. You get mad that black people get into Ivy League schools. All these, they earned it.
Yeah.
They earned it.
DEI.
The DEI, but you're a legacy kid. You got in because your pops. You got in on legacy, which was, all these schools were built by slaves. Stop. Now you have to play even. It's like sports. Once we got in, we coming for Frisbee.
That was that old black man dad TV show.
I mean, it's just like sports. You didn't want us to play. You didn't allow. That's how you cheated. You didn't play evenly, and this is what's going on all levels, man.
Dude, you are the best.
Well,
I love you, brother.
I want to come
you're
back.
late, except you're
no. You got to get your addresses. You got 2 addresses of the same.
And we're in the fancy part of town, too.
Beautiful.
Moving on up
to the east side. Sing it, Tim.
To a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Moving on. We're moving on. You know who sang that? Come on.
Whatchamacallit's mom, right? Wasn't it somebody's mom?
No, it was the next door neighbor.
On Good Times.
Janet
Dubois.
Yeah,
But I thought
rest
Janet
in
Dubois,
peace.
but didn't she write? Wait a minute. I thought she did Good Times.
No. Good Times was David Grussin and another lady that sang the song.
Yeah.
But she actually, Norman Lear asked her,
Janet Dubois.
Can you come up with a song? Oh, she was fantastic.
I hope she got some money for that.
I don't know if she did.
She didn't write it.
But I saw the interview where she came up with the song. Norman Lear asked her, like, she was bored. She goes, can I, like, try and do the theme song? Yeah. He goes, well, come up with something.
You know, it's funny. Yeah. I recently emailed somebody something like that. You remember Diane Carroll?
Hell yeah.
When Diane Carroll said she wanted to be the first black bitch on television.
And she
tried to get in touch with Aaron Spelling. And she said her agent did nothing. She ran into him at a party, and Aaron Spelling and what's her name? I forget what their names are. Esther Shapiro, Ben and Esther Shapiro, whatever. They saw her, and she walked into the party, and they're like, damn, she is Dynasty, right? But she reached out, and she said, if it's not me, then it's time. It should be someone else. Yeah. So, should I tell you the story?
No. Hell yeah, I love this.
So Ryan Murphy
Yeah.
is doing a remake of The Golden Girls.
Okay.
But with all gay men.
Is he?
And I emailed Ryan. I was like, Ryan, I am your black golden boy.
Did you really ask him?
I didn't hear back. Ryan has not responded. Ryan responded.
So it's a Golden Girls. Was it old dudes?
It's going to be. I think it's like it's not going to be exactly the same, but it's going to be a take on the Golden Girls.
A take. Don't call it Golden Girls.
It's not Golden Boys, right? But it's
just
have
it be a take on that.
But
that's what name it the same.
No, it's not going to be named the same.
Yeah.
Thing, but that's the inspiration.
That's dope
because
that's
going to be all sort of senior, older gay men living together.
That's a brilliant idea. Just don't call it Golden because you'll mess it up.
Don't call it Golden Boys.
Boys, just say something else. There's other words in the dictionary that you get. I got one for you.
There was a 4th Golden Girl, by the way. Oh, it was a gay man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. No, it was a.
What happened?
It was a 5th Golden Girl, I should say.
What happened?
There were 4 of them. They realized that people like the energy with the chicks. It should just be just ladies, and I agree.
Do
with
you
that.
remember? Okay, I got one for you. Remember what's her name? Uhura, the lady who played
Lieutenant Uhura.
Nichelle Nichols.
Nichelle
Nichelle Nichols. You know her story where she was about to quit Star Trek, and she wanted to quit because she was like, I can't do this. I don't want to be part of this. The racism. And then she met Martin Luther King at a party.
And he said,
I don't think that you have to understand that you are very important to this. We need black people in space and futuristic TV shows. So I'm saying to you, yeah, she like told us she went back because of, how do you meet Dr. King at a party? Who meets Dr. King? So Dr. King's like, what's going on,
What's up?
girl? Listen, let me tell you. You have to understand that the world needs the Negro.
This is the 60s,
man,
and they're like,
and he's jamming. He's like, and I'm gonna let you know something. You need to get your black ass back on that show. All right.
This is when they were doing it.
Captain Kirk, he needs you. We need that. Your fine little black self need to get back. Space is the final frontier.
you know who sat in this very space and said did the same thing with Gene Roddenberry? Whoopi. Whoopi said, Gene, I don't see any, there are no black people in the future
Yeah.
on, you know, for when you see sci-fi shows. Yeah. And he's like, wait a minute. And then he wrote her into.
That's so, and she was like, you gotta write me in.
Yeah.
I don't understand how there's no black people. You don't even have Whoopi Goldberg.
I don't know how Whoopi does that show because I know she wants sometimes. I know Whoopi. I know she
Oh,
wants
you know,
to
they
say-
asked her, they say, why are you saying, like, I like checks.
No. I understand that part, but I'm like, sometimes I'm like, Whoopi is gonna read somebody to
Whoopi,
film.
I love when she be walking off.
Yeah.
It's her show. They should call it Whoopi's View. It is Whoopi's View, because she be like, no, I don't, no, go to commercial. We're going to a commercial because you are pissing me off right now.
Do you do Joy Behar?
No, she's a comic too. I don't do Joy. I gotta listen. I got my Whoopi.
You're great.
Dude,
Thank
I'd
you,
love
brother.
to
I
come
appreciate
back.
it.
This is awesome.
Say
I
hello
love
to
this.
the Lemonheads, Elimination.
Say hello to my little lemons. Hello, lemons. How you doing? Say hello to my little lemons.
Tell them we'll see him tomorrow on
See-
on Hot Topics at 10 a.m.
See you tomorrow on the Hot Topics, 10 a.m. It's your boy Godfrey. Godfrey Comic is the Instagram.
Yeah.
Bang!
And what is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Godfrey Comedian, and also I have my podcast in Godfrey We Trust, and that's also on the YouTube channel on there. So maybe Don will come by and do the podcast. Yo, his book, I Once Was Lost.
My Search for God in America.
And now
I think
I'm
I found him.
Come on. Look at that handsome guy right there. Huh? Saint Barber. Hey, what? Hey, get out of here.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you, Godfrey.
That was awesome.
That was great.